If you've spent hours on the charts, endless backtesting, and watched hundreds of YouTube strategy videos, but you still can't get your trading just right, this is the video that's going to fix all your problems. Now, I speak to hundreds of traders on a daily basis, and the three things that I've picked up from all of the unprofitable traders that I've spoken from is this. 1, they don't have a clear trading plan. 2, they're unable to manage their emotions. And 3, they don't have a long-term plan on how they're going to manage their trading capital. In this video, I'm going to give you the solution to all 3 of those problems and fix your trading for good. First off, I'm going to tell you everything you need to include in order to create a custom trading plan for yourself. Then, I'm going to show you my first trading plan from when I started trading, as well as my trading plan now, and how that helped me get to the stage of being consistently profitable. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not just going to watch this video and instantly be profitable, but I'm going to give you the systems that you need to implement in order to get yourself to be a profitable trader down the line. Welcome back to Mastering the Markets, episode 8, the series where I teach you everything I know from A to Z that allowed me to become a profitable trader in the markets. Now, the first thing you're going to need is a trading plan. Now, I'm talking about an everyday trading plan and a set of rules that you're going to create for yourself in order to manage your emotions and become a strict and responsible trader. Now, how do I do that, you might be asking? Well, there's 4 things we need to control. The first thing is you need to control your time on the charts. So, the first thing I want you to do is understand the hours that you're most likely to spend on the charts. For me, I trade London session and I trade the open of New York session. When I'm setting a time limit on my trading, I'm going to set my time limit between 7:30 a.m. in the morning and 12 p.m. And then when I get back on the charts for New York, my time limits are between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Even if I'm on the charts after that and I see a setup, I will not let myself take it even to this day. And that is what has allowed me to become a disciplined trader and allow myself to manage my emotions consistently whilst live streaming and trading. The second thing I want you to be able to control is the amount of trades you're taking during this time whilst you're on the charts. So for me, when I'm first starting off and when I'm training beginners, I recommend setting yourself a limit of 1 trade per day. This is going to stop you from going on tilt if you take a loss. It's also going to stop you from blowing those wins if you do get a win on that trade. And it's going to generally just help you manage your emotions, stop FOMO, stop overtrading, and let you become more consistent over time. Or what I currently do now is I limit myself to 1 trade per day per account. So what this means is if you have multiple personal accounts or maybe some funded accounts mixed in there as well, you can take 1 trade per day on each account. And this means that when you get to the stage where you can manage multiple accounts, you can now have a day where you're getting profits on multiple trades, and even if you take a loss on one of those accounts, the profits from your other accounts are going to make up for it and you're still going to have a winning day. However, like I said, if you are a beginner, potentially stick to that 1 or 2 trades a day maximum. Now, the third thing I want you to be able to control is your risk percentage. So I want you to be able to set a risk amount per trade that you are not going to go over. For me, it's 1% per trade. I will never take a trade on a funded account over 1% risk. Now, the rules on personal accounts can apply a little bit differently, but for me, 1% per trade is the maximum. Potentially, if you have a bit of a smaller account or if you're in the data collection phase, you can maybe risk a little bit more. This could be allowing yourself to pop a 0.02 lot if you have a smaller account so that you're able to close partials and test that strategy. But realistically, if you are in the stage where you're trying to now turn a profit on your trading, 1% per trade is more than enough. Now, the fourth and final thing I want you to be able to control is when you're taking entries. Now, obviously, if you're taking entries through my strategy and you've watched the previous episodes of the course, we're going to be able to give you specific details of when you're taking that entry. However, if you're trading through a different strategy, maybe you're an ICT trader, maybe you trade SMC, maybe you trade some other strategy, you're going to have to come up with this part yourself. But essentially, the premise of point number 4 is I want you to only be taking the A+ or the perfect setups. Now, for us support and resistance traders, essentially what we're looking for is a clean breakout, liquidity being grabbed, and volume in the markets. As well as that, we need clean traffic in the direction that we're taking that position. Once we have all of that, we're more than okay to take that position, but as I said, if you trade another strategy, you're going to have to create this for yourself. Once you get to the point where you can see a strategy that's 90% perfect, is not that quite there, maybe there's one thing that's off, one time frame that might be a little bit misleading, and not take that trade, that's when you're going to know that you have the true discipline to become a consistent trader. Now, when I'm live streaming every single day at 8 a.m. UK time, a lot of people ask me, why didn't you take this trade? It looked good, it looked like it was going to go up. And I tell them, because this, and this wasn't right, or because this, maybe even this one thing wasn't right. This has taken a lot of discipline to get to that point, but it has saved me in the long run. The amount of trades that I've seen where maybe the 1 hour looks absolutely perfect for buys, but I've dropped down to the 30-minute and it's showing a different story, and I've sat on the sidelines and watched it move, and then we would have been in a loss, is uncountable. I've literally lost count of the amount of times that has happened. Now, yes, maybe there is a few times where it's ran without us and it would have hit take profit, but the amount of times that it went the other way definitely makes up for that. The final thing is a bit of a bonus, but I think it's an absolutely key rule that you shouldn't miss out of your plan, and that is, if you take a loss, no matter what happens, no matter what account it's taken on, you are now done for the day. Now, this is absolutely instrumental in avoiding putting yourself on tilt or revenge trading after taking a loss, okay? So even if you have 3 or 4 funded accounts that you're trading off of, and you still are going to do 1 trade a day per account, the moment you take 1 loss, you're done for the day. Now, this has been something that I've taught to all my students over time, and that they've said has helped them incredibly. A lot of people struggle with revenge trading, going on tilt, or over risking after a loss, and this reset, stepping away from that charts for the day, sleeping on it, and coming back with a fresh mindset in the morning is something that's a game changer and is really going to fix your trading if you're struggling with those emotions. Finally, I want you to make a pledge to yourself that every single trade you take, you are going to do some form of journaling on it. Guys, as I'm editing this video, I'm happy to announce to you guys that the Team Trendlines journal is out now for pre-release. So what I want you to do is go to the link below or go to wap.com/trendlinesvip. Go and put yourself on the waiting list. This is the ultimate journal. So whilst we were just talking about journaling right now, I wanted to let you guys know this journal is going to be unbelievable. It is truly going to be a game changer. Now, I'm going to have a complete video on that coming out in the next week, but make sure you go put yourself on that waiting list. This journal is going to be insane. Honestly, a game changer for you. If you use it properly, your trading will increase and just completely change, to be honest. So make sure you put yourself on that waiting list. wap.com/trendlinesvip. Oh, completely free, by the way. You don't have to pay a thing. The journal is completely free. But even more reason for you to do that. Go get yourself on the waiting list and go back and enjoy this video. See you in a bit. As an example, before we move on, I want to show you guys my trading plan that I used when I was starting off in trading. Now, it was a very simple plan, literally everything that I've just told you. 1 trade a day maximum, 1% risk maximum. If I take a loss, I'm done. I'm trading between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. because I only used to trade New York session. So that's 4 rules right there that I used to stick to religiously. If I broke any of those rules, I would not be trading for the rest of that week because I knew that I was acting emotionally. And now I'm grateful that I've put in that work over time and I don't need to look at my plan every single day. However, if I was you guys, what I'd do is I would be writing down this plan. I would be, after this video, going and formulating a plan, literally writing it down on a notepad and paper, sticking it on your wall next to your trading setup, or maybe, you know, sticking it behind your monitor, whatever it is, somewhere where you can see it every single day when you come to the charts, so that you can remind yourself to stick to these rules and stay disciplined when you're trading. Now, the second part of this video, I want to teach you guys how to develop a long-term trading plan. So we've covered the daily plan and the daily rules that we're going to follow. Now I want you guys to manage a long-term plan on how you're going to manage your accounts and essentially trade your capital. So the first thing you guys need to be doing if you're starting off, step number 1 is I want you to be in a data collection phase. Now, for me, this should be on a small live account, maybe $100, around the area, whatever you can afford. But at this point in the game, you're not focused on the money at all. The reason why we're on a small live account and not a demo is purely so we can have some emotion in the game and we're not just trading freely. It's very hard to trade a demo account the same way that you would trade a live account, right? So the purpose of this phase is going to be you are testing your strategy out on the live market. So what I want you to do is I want you to take these trades with 1% risk like we discussed. What I need you to do is I need you to take these trades and journal every single trade in a data collection journal that I'm going to show you how to use in the very next episode. But collect data on every single one of those entry types. Find how statistically profitable they are, find how many pips on average they run, what risk to reward you can get if you're a risk to reward trader, everything like that. Collect as much data as you possibly can over a 3 to 6 month period. Remember, at this point, you're not trying to make money off trading. You're purely focusing on the strategy and increasing your skill every single day as a trader. Now, phase 2 is going to be a little bit similar. I want you to go back and analyze the data that you've collected over that previous phase 1 period. You can make any necessary adjustments. If your account's profitable, then great. If not, you need to make some tweaks and essentially figure out what's been wrong with your strategy, what's been wrong with your emotions, and make any necessary adjustments. Once you've figured out what the issue is, try that again for a couple of months and repeat these phases until you've got a consistently profitable strategy. After that, we move to phase 3. You're going to slowly start depositing more money into your personal account. Now, this could be $500, it could be $1,000, it could be $2,000, depending on what you can afford. But this is the point where we're going to start to test out your psychology with a little bit larger numbers to see how well you can manage. At this stage, again, I don't want you to be thinking about the money, because you should never actually start to think about the money in trading. That's when it all goes downhill. I want you to think about implementing the strategy, implementing the tweaks that you've made on that strategy, the fine-tuning, purely focusing on your skill as a trader yet again. Now, once you've done this for a couple of months and you understand that you can handle the bigger numbers, you can handle having your own capital at risk, now we can start to move on to thinking about scaling. Now, there are obviously 2 main ways to go about this. The first of which is funded capital. The second of which is scaling your personal live account. Now, I'm going to leave funded capital for another video along the way in the course, because I don't believe that it is the best way of managing your skills as a trader. Yes, it can be a good way to make some quick money, but if you want longevity in trading, I believe being able to scale a personal account and be consistent with a live account over time is the best way that you're going to do it. I want you to think about how you're going to be depositing into this account. Hopefully you have an extra income, a job, whatever it is, that you can consistently deposit into this account. Now, once you've figured that out, I don't want you to go and set any goals for how much you have to earn on this account per month, but I want you to start risking 1 to 2% per trade on this account and really sticking to the strategy and enforcing your rules on a daily basis. If you're using percentage risk like I recommend, you're going to start noticing the compounding effect taking place. Let's say you have an account with $10,000 in it. If you start making consistent 10% on that account over a period of a couple of months, soon enough that 10% goes from being $1,000 to $2,000, and a couple of months after that it's going to go to $3,000. It's going to go to $4,000 after that for just a 10% increase. This is simply the compounding effect, okay? If you're using percentage risk, if you're using fixed lots, I want you to determine a schedule of where you're going to increase your lots at. Maybe you're going to increase your lots by 1 every month. Maybe you're going to increase your lots by 1 for every certain amount of £1,000 that you're making on the account. Now, that's something that you need to come up with yourself. I'm not going to be telling you how to manage that, but essentially the premise of all of this is you need a long-term plan how you're going to scale that capital. Step 3 is how to manage your emotions as a trader. Now, the simple answer is everything that I've just taught you is the exact way that you're going to manage your emotions, okay? You've now built a bulletproof system of how you're managing your trading, how you're operating as a trader on a daily basis. Now, if you stick to that plan, no matter what happens, you take a W. So you'll see people in the stream saying, we stuck to the plan, we took a W, right? And what that means is, no matter what happens, even if you take a loss in the markets that day, you stuck to your trading plan, you didn't break your rules, you stayed emotionless, and you continued on the path to becoming a better trader. You have secured a win for that day, even if the capital is down. And this is then something that you can use as a fallback to manage that psychology, okay? If you stick to that plan, no matter what happens, if you take a loss, you will not have FOMO because you know you've stuck to your plan. If you take that win, you won't want to continue to overtrade because you know, yet again, you're sticking to your plan and taking that W. Now we take the focus away from financial wins and we take the focus within ourselves to a disciplinary win, and we manage our emotions, our psychology, and our skills before the money comes in. Now, I hope that helped you out, guys. If it did, please drop a like. If you have any questions down below, please feel free to ask me. I reply to every single comment. And if your comment is good enough, who knows, I might end up making a video on it by itself. Other than that, I really hoped I helped you out with this video. If it did, drop a like, join the free Discord in the link below, and grab that free psychology journal so you can implement everything you've just learned in this video as you go. And that's it. I'll catch you in the next one.